Peace, viewers. You're tuned in to A Vision Entertainment. I'm your host, Tommy Slaughter, where we walk down memory lane, right into the golden era of hip hop. And with that being said, we have a true MC. This man is a legend. He's a pioneer. He's all rolled up in one. This man is LA Sunshine. The Treacherous Three stands as one of the most innovative groups of rap's early days, spawning a career of past members Kool Moe Dee, Special K, DJ Easy Lee, and Spoonie Gee. You might got to correct me on the Spoonie Gee.
Nah, man, you're already scoring points already just by that, because most people automatically assume that the Treacherous Three is me, Mo, and K, which was the notable Treacherous Three, but the original Treacherous Three was me, Mo, and Spoon.
Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
I had it right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I ain't gonna complain because it ain't gonna do no good.
Yeah.
All things considered, I'm good.
Well, I want to thank you, man, for coming on to A Vision Entertainment, and you kept your word. You said I'll be there, and you're here, and I thank you for that, brother.
You got it, bro. You got it.
Can we go back on Central Harlem street corner in the pre-MTV days, like boom boxes and mixtapes, of how you started getting into hip hop?
Me personally, when hip hop first began, like in the early 70s, it was just the droplings and sprinkles of hip hop's coming to fruition very, very early on. But I started to take note of it more seriously when I seen DJ Hollywood, not because Hollywood was a number one. He had a high value name, he had some name cachet, and he was a bad dude. He had Hollywood handle his business. Hollywood was the first person I seen live doing it at a high degree, high level. And it happened to be at a concert. Because I was and probably still am, I'm more of an R&B dude than anything else. And I was at a R&B concert at the Apollo Theater, and the Whispers were performing, and I didn't even know that Hollywood was, supposed to be a special guest or whatever. Like, so at the intermission of the Whispers concert, lo and behold, they just, they said, yo, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. We'll be, give us a couple of minutes, we'll be right back. And Hollywood wasn't even on the stage at the time. They just took a spotlight and shined it down on the floor in the corner of the stage. And Hollywood was there. And Hollywood just started a show like that, surprising everybody. To me, they said, we'll be right back. Give us 15 minutes and we'll be back. And they shined the light and he said, welcome to the world famous Grand Apollo Theater. This is DJ Hollywood, and it's time for me to make it bad. Come on.
It was on.
He played Apache. Man, you ever seen this is the reference that I used? 5 Heartbeats, where the girl was in the chair when she was creaming.
She was going down, yeah.
I mean,
she almost had an orgasm or something.
Right. See, and cats look at me differently when I say that, speaking in reference to a man, but that's kind of what hip hop did to me. It gave me, I had chills. I was like, whatever that is, I'm doing that for the rest of my life.
Wow.
So it was all, I give homage to Hollywood more so than anybody else for being a major influence, other than Michael Jackson as an artist. But Hollywood really set me on a path to being a hip hop artist.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. And from my understanding, that you and Moe Dee, Kool Moe Dee, actually grew up together, right?
Yeah. I mean, no Mo and Lee for the most part. We all grew up in the same block, went to the same elementary school.
Yeah.
And I've known him since we was knee high to a baby, man. The song Wild Wild West, when he sings and he says, I used to live downtown, 129th Street, Convent. That's my address. That's not where Moe Dee lived at.
Oh, yeah? That's your address.
Okay. Yeah, but we was just always so cool, and all the cats was gravitating to my crib on a regular. That was my spot, was the hangout spot. We sit in there, play Uno and Monopoly and that kind of stuff just all night long. And then my place was the stomping ground to make that happen. And then the group where we're from, it's like a 3 radius block from 127th Street to 130th Street in Convent Avenue, between Convent and St. Nicholas Terrace. And that's considered what we call the Hill.
Yeah.
The 129th Street was the most dominant and prominent spot within that hill. If you say you're on the hill, meet me on the hill, most people would go to 129th Street. So that's why he used the 129th Street, because it's more identifiable than his block, which was 128th Street.
Yeah, your block was more popping. It was more.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, my joint was popping. Yeah.
Well, like every time when I talk to other artists, they always mention they started out DJing. Did you ever get a chance to do your set parties?
No, I've never done a set. I played around on the DJ turntables just because I had access to it way back when, my man DJ Reggie Reg, who was, one of our first DJs, lived in the same building as I did. So
Yeah.
I'm just run upstairs to the sixth floor to go to Reg's house, and the system is just sitting up there. Be times when he ain't doing nothing. I just get on there, and I never gravitated to it really. I wanted to know what the functionality of it was. And after I teetered with it into it, and then if I could cut and keep a beat to save my life, but was I Zugga and was I Grandmaster Flash in any shape, form, or fashion? Nah, no, not at all. No, I just took MCing. I took performing up front on stage more serious because I think I was destined to be a performer in some regard or not before I even got into hip hop, and hip hop just kind of solidified it, but not as a DJ.
As a DJ. Okay. For the viewers that don't know, at what age were you when we're talking about Central Harlem and out there on the corner? How old were you then, Daddy?
When I first started, I believe I was in ninth grade.
About 14, 13, 14.
14, yeah, maybe. I think I was supposed to have been in 10th grade. Now that I think about it, I was supposed to have been in 10th grade. So it may even been it was closer to 14, 15.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, like I said, there was MC hip hop groups sprinkling and popping up all throughout the city for the most part, definitely in the Bronx and Manhattan. Just you're getting sprinkles and tidbits of cats. It was crews popping up any and everywhere. And we were fortunate enough. I was fortunate enough to gravitate to a group that had some staying power, and it evolved to the Treacherous Three. And originally, we started off as the Fantastic Four. That was DJ Reggie Reg, the cat that we mentioned on Body Rock. Was the R to the E, double G, I E, Reggie Regis. That's Reg. He was DJing along with Crazy Eddie from the Fearless Fours group. DJ Crazy Eddie and Master OC, they were the Fearless Four MCs, DJ. But Eddie was down with us first. And that just speaks to how interwoven we all were. We all grew up together. A stone throw away and DLB grew up with us. That's my little cousin, Mike C. And I lived with Mike C the majority of my life. Mike C still performs with us when we perform under Kool Moe Dee. So that's how closely woven we were.
Oh, Mike C he's still rolling, rock and roll.
Yeah, Mike C with it down with us. But we started off as the Fantastic Four, and then we made it the Fantastic Four Plus because there was always cats coming in and moving out, cat moving out. But when we got to the point of the Treacherous Three, we defined that that's what we was going to do, and we named it and stuck with that.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Now the new rap language was a song. Yeah, it was with Spoonie Gee, and Body Rock. Was that done in high school?
The new rap language was, it was almost, for the time frame, it was almost considered passe. Not passe. It was old to us because it was just basically a routine that we used to do at our parties.
Okay.
When we gained a lot of notoriety for doing the fast rhymes, and we talking about in 78, 70, that 78, he was doing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, made no strings, that had tobacco tricks. This is the way we get our kids qualifying, rectifying rock. We were doing that in 78. And when the opportunity presented itself to do a record, we didn't write a new record. We just hung our hat on what we were most noted for and what was most popular for us, and that was new rap language. That was the fast rhymes, and basically that's what it was. It wasn't the new rap. It wasn't titled the new rap language until it came on record. Prior to that, we just fast rhyme routine, one of the routines. And then along with At the Party, if you look at listen to the song At the Party, ha ha ha, all that is nothing but the Treacherous Three at a party for the most part, because all we did was just routines that we did regularly at parties.
Wow, would you say that y'all made that up? Like y'all actually made up those ha ha? You made that up?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because we would do that. I'm I'm almost ready to jump off the ledge and say it was me specifically, not to take notoriety for it, but I did more of the ad-libbing back then, as well as I do now. I do more ad-libbing while cats is rhyming and just giving a little extra zest to the cat that's rhyming. That spilled into ha ha ha, and each one of us, we would try to we prided ourselves on being able to do a sentence broken down to sometimes per syllable. Like, some cats don't even know that half the time when you're hearing the Treacherous Three, you're hearing three people rhyme, not all in unison at the same time. We breaking down the words of that line, and it's just one syllable. So that's just a play on that. Ha, ha, ha. That's more K, me, more K than me.
That those years, man, it was so special. I mean, you cannot get that back, but it
Right.
was special back then. You just making up things and it's coming together. And to this day in 2024, if you hear that record, you on the dance floor. You dance.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I mean, that was the objective. As cliche as it sounds, we wanted to we wanted to have fun. We wanted to have a party. That was the objective for us. We was never into rah rah or about no drama at all under those
It was
circumstances.
fun.
It was fun. It was genuinely as corny as it sounds, but no, that's what it was. It was more fun than anything else. If you don't incorporate a laugh or two into whatever it is we're doing, it didn't appease us at all. So
Wow.
no, it's one of our main focal points was to have fun, transition a party into a record.
Well, I thank God, man, for allowing me to be born in 1976 because my
Okay.
family had those records. So
Okay.
and I listened to that as a kid coming up. So I love that, man, and I appreciate the fact that y'all led the way like that for these new millennials. Y'all did some great things, man. I appreciate that. I
I
really
mean, at the risk of sounding egotistical, I know that, and that's part of the reason why I don't have these conversations too often because
yeah
I, again, as souped up as it may sound, I don't need nobody to toot my horn. I know what I've done.
yeah
And
good.
that you couple that mindset along with me being the roots of the tree, I know I'm the roots of the tree. I'm the foundation. I know I am. You can't un-LA sunshine me. You can't take that away. Like no
That's right.
matter
That's
what.
right.
So if I get the accolades or not, it don't make a difference. I'm gonna sleep well anyway.
It's
Because
already stamped.
I don't need somebody.
Yeah,
I don't need BET and no slight on BET or nobody else for that matter. I don't need them to recognize me as as a founding father of hip hop or whatever. I don't need that. I'm good. I know what I've done.
that's right. That's right. So you're comfortable with you already know what it is. No matter
100%.
what.
Yeah, 100% comfortable. Everybody wants to be acknowledged for what they've done and their accomplishments, and speaking to hip hop, people get the origins and how it derived. They get that a little mixed up, and people want to be more in tune or more part of the origins or the starting than they actually should be. And that, everybody want to have their hand in it. I was there. Everybody want to be. I was there. Kool Moe Dee when he battled Busy B at Harlem World. Harlem World can only hold, I think, 600 to 700 people
Oh,
at the time. Maybe, I mean, if you jam packed, there's 1,000 people, 1,200 people in there tops. But I've heard at least 10,000 people say they were there. It's impossible. All 10,000 people, because it's impossible because it don't that many
yeah.
people are in it.
Yeah,
But you want to be a part of that. You want to lay claims to, I was part of that moment when it happened. So I understand, and that's what people do with hip hop. And I accept it as a grain of salt, and I take it with pride as a compliment, because if you want to be a part of it, it must be something worth being a part of.
that's right. That's right. You want to be there, that's because like you said, that's
It's
history
popping.
made.
Mhm.
History in the making.
Right. And again, like I said, to reiterate, I know I was there. You can't I was more than just there. I was creating it. You know what I'm saying? I gave cats those moments of, oh wow, that's something worthy of talking about, to run back home to tell my boys or get a cassette tape and record that. I want to record him rhyming. Like, so I know what I've done.
Do man. As long as you know what it is. And everybody else do. Everybody, so you don't even have to really put it out there.
Right.
You know
I
what?
appreciate it. I appreciate it. No, but I'm just speaking that too, because again, like it gets a little mixed up. And you lose. I mean, I hear people say this all the time about if you don't stay current, you're not relevant.
Yeah, I heard that.
You
Yeah,
know, like that's absurd to me. That's almost that's laughable.
yeah,
Um, because there would be no relevance for you to be if there was no beginning.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
You
Take
know,
right back to essence.
the first person to write a rhyme, he wrote a rhyme, whoever it was, whether it's a hip hop artist or somebody or ancient oracle from Africa or something, whatever that, whoever was the first person to get on and say hip boom bop bop, whatever that is, they did that.
They already did it.
You can't undo it. So it don't make a difference whether or not some new cats come along and get more notoriety, more fame, more financial compensation. It doesn't take away where it came from. And I sit on those laurels, and I'm good. I'm comfortable with that.
That's right, man. That's right. And I also found something else that's amazing too with what you all did after the new rap language, then body rock. You also appeared in B Street. I just would like to know, how did that happen? Who contact you all to get on B Street? How did that happen?
Um, B Street. There was the writer of the screenplay, a gentleman by the name of Stephen Hager. He was writing a book prior to it ever even getting before B Street came to fruition. He was writing a book, and he followed me around, stayed with me on the phone frequently for about, I forget how long it was. I'd say maybe a couple of months. Just getting information on my group, the Treacherous Three.
Yeah,
Um, and he was writing a book about my group. He likes to say he was writing a group just about hip hop, but I mean, and I get it. Um, he was gathering information on what it entailed, and it just it evolved into a screenplay.
yeah.
Hollywood got wind of it, and of course, they did what they did with it, and they wanted to be able to bring it to the big screen, and it happened. But unbeknownst to most people, it started. Beach Street originally began as a story about the Treacherous Three, and here's the proof. If you take the four main characters of Beach Street, that's Little Lee, Ramo,
You know,
uh, Little Lee, Ramo, Chale, and who's the other cat?
wait, Lee
Double
Raymond,
K. Double K. Little Lee was
Double
the
K.
dude that did the break
Yeah,
dancing.
Double K. Lee,
Right?
Double K,
Ramo was the
spray paint.
artist, whatever.
Yeah,
Double K was the DJ, and
yeah.
Charlie was supposedly Double K's manager.
Okay. Yeah, he
Right. But that's just a play on the names. That's easily Little League,
yeah.
Ramo, Kool Moe, Double K, Special K, Charlie, LA. It's the same thing. He just flipped it.
Wow. Well, they flipped it. They just flipped it.
Just flipped it.
Wow.
Unbeknownst to most people, but I ain't the cat that get on a milk crate and go, yo, take that and run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that B Street thing. Now, when I look at Shy Rock, Debbie D, Lisa Lee,
Mhm.
did did all y'all? I mean, did everyone know each other? Like, did y'all grow up together or just met on B Street? Like, how did
No,
that happen?
we all, I mean, B Street, the collaboration, the way that came to fruition was they wanted the high touted people of hip hop during that generation.
Yeah.
And everybody that's on it, everybody that was on Beach Street, it was the top names of the hip hop generation during that time. So we were familiar with Lisa, Deb, and Shop because they were mainstays in the hip hop circle.
Yeah.
But know them, did we have personal investments or did we know them personally? No, not at all. We met we passed by each other a couple of times at different gigs and whatnot. It's always a matter of respect. But back then, most cats would be just, you stone and you ice grilling each other.
That's right.
But we just was never cut from that cloth. But if somebody didn't give us the an inviting avenue to where we could open up a dialogue and conversation, we just left it alone. And it was no ill feelings or nothing at all. But we were familiar with everybody, and everybody was familiar with us. But there was I think I'd say the Cold Crush and the Fearless were the only groups during that time frame that that considered family very early on.
Well, and that's why I like to go back and get artists, and I'm talking about legends. And I know some people don't even like to be called that, but legends and pioneers. I love to go back and reach out to hear stories because it's always a great story coming from, you know, my old, I call them old heads, my old heads, my legendary, you know, artists. And this is the
Right.
reason why I love this because information is great.
I agree. I totally agree.
It's great, man. And now I just want to get into you know, just about the book, man. You wrote a touching um novel. No, it's not a novel because it's all true facts. You wrote a
Yes.
touching book, man,
Thank you.
which is called LA Sunshine, a true story, the real accounts, right?
Mhm. Yes, sir.
Um I kind of look, you know, just little pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and grab that. But I was looking at a little couple.
Feel free. Like I said, it's an open book.
Is an open book like which details your difficult childhood, the perks and downsides of time as an entertainer, depression, homelessness, suicide, things like that. What when did you realize? Because sometimes I would like to know this too. When did you realize that something was really bothering you? Like, was it a symptom that you knew that all right, something is wrong with me? Like, did you? I just want to know, like, when did you realize something was wrong going on? Oh,
Mm. That's a very good question, man. Kudos to you because nobody's ever phrased it in that way. When did I know that there was something wrong?
yeah.
Um, I knew there was something wrong very, very early on. I just never acknowledged it.
Okay.
And I'm talking about very early on, before I even started, before I ever even picked up a microphone, I knew I was wrong. I knew something wasn't right. Um, and it wasn't from a space of wanting to fit in or nothing along those lines. I just felt out of place. Um, and I won't say it was because of depression. It was just me not being comfortable with who I originally and organically was. Um, growing up in the streets during that time frame, there was a lot of drug influences. You know, a lot of people from my family and people in my very close setting, a lot of them, were drug affiliates. And they sold. I'm talking about big drugs. I ain't talking about some cat on the corner selling a nickel.
No.
No,
Mhm.
I'm talking cats. My brother was very big into the drug game. And some other people that I could name that are in the lures of drug trafficking in that regard. So when I say that, it was heavy in my sight. Um, but to be to not be comfortable in that setting, I just never gravitated towards it. I never was like, no. It was pretty much you would consider it be the next step. It
Yeah.
was destined for me to do because everybody, my whole crew, prior to me getting linked up with my hip hop crew, my whole crew from the Hill, where Wild Wild West comment with the Wild Wild West song. Um, in a nutshell, let me try to frame it like this. It was me and maybe like 4 or 5 other cats. We were growing up, preteens, 12, 13, 14, me and my crew.
Teenage.
Um, by the time I was 24, it was me, Phil, Saya, Chuck, and my man Pochop. That was the hardcore 5. And this was before hip hop. None of them cats was into hip hop or nothing. It was just
Way
street cats.
before hip hop.
Right. These cats was into flipping. It was yearning to become drug dealers.
Okay.
And we had the access to that. So they started selling drugs real early on. And I just never gravitated to it. When they would go out, that'd be stand on the block, just
Yeah.
twiddling my thumbs, wait for my crew to come back. Full circle, to tell you to make a long story short, is by the time I was 25, Chop was dead. God bless Chucky was dead. Saya was dead, and Phil was in a wheelchair, and because Phil had got shot. So me during that, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for hip hop. I mean, I know that sounds real cliche-ish for most people. Like, no, hip hop saved my life. But if I didn't gravitate towards hip hop, I would have went that way with my other crew, and none of them are no longer here except for Phil, and he's in a wheelchair. So I say all of that to say I knew that there was something not different, at least I'll say so. I knew it was something different about me very early on because I had access to it and it was right at my fingertips, but it just never set right in my skin. But coming up and growing up from in that environment, that ain't the easiest way to say, or how do you articulate that at 11, 12 years old?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Not on some, I'm scared to be viewed as a punk or a soft or a square, nothing like that. Excuse me. I didn't know how to navigate that. I just didn't know how to feel comfortable about it. So I knew there was something different with me. And as I grew older, you couple that with depression, anxiety, and these are things that I didn't know that I was dealing with. I was dealing with depression at a very, very early age. I tried to kill myself when I think I was 13. I tried to kill myself 3 times. So there was just nothing set well with me based on me having difficulty dealing with who I was and not knowing how to navigate, how to even articulate it, how to express that. Like, yo, something don't feel right. You can't say that in the hood. Not because you're gonna be viewed differently. I mean, we grew up during that time frame, like that's taboo. Like, black man, you can't say that. You got to stand on your square. And I suppressed all of those feelings by getting into drugs. Got into drugs and started sniffing coke heavy and heavy. Was trying to kill myself doing that. I was walking around with a death wish, trying to just kill myself, not put a pistol to my head. But that's how that's how I that's when I realized that there was something, but I didn't acknowledge it until my mid-40s, man. Actually, right around the time when I decided to put the book together is when I said I need to put it, and the book helped purge me, cleansed me. It made me get all of that out.
Because you got it out, all out your mind.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you got it out.
So, I mean, out of all the things that I've accomplished, I've been on the stage with, I performed with the OJs. You can't tell me nothing. I performed with Barry White. You can't tell me nothing. Most cats will say, "Oh, I performed with Jay-Z." No disrespect to Jay, but no. For me, man, I've done some things. I'm saying I performed in arenas that held 80,000 people at the Rose Bowl in California.
Yeah, I met you a few times. You probably don't remember. I met you. Yeah, when you came to Philly. I'm in Philly now. Yeah.
See, that's my point. And so I've done some things, but out of all the things that I've accomplished, the book was more important to me because it allowed me to purge myself.
Right. You get it all up.
Allowed me to get to where I'm at, and I'm not going to claim that I'm great and better, but I still deal with depression. I still deal with anxiety. But I know where I'm at, and I'm grounded. I know what those warning signs are, and I know how to articulate. It's very difficult for me to not speak what's on my mind. And I find that to be helpful for me, if nothing else. I'm gonna tell somebody. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I can't. I got to. Does it cost me sometimes? Because most cats ain't comfortable hearing it straight like that. Most people ain't used to dealing with the real. People say it. No, I'm gonna keep it real. But I keep it real to a fault, man.
That's well said too, man. And another thing I wanted to know as you was going through, them dark times, depression, drugs. Did you ever think about talking to a therapist, or that didn't cross your mind?
Nah.
Yeah, just wanted to know if
a therapist. I did once. I made, one of the times when I tried to do something to myself.
Yeah.
They put me in the hospital, and they, that was one of my conditions. They said that if I went seeing a therapist, that they wouldn't lock me up in a nut house. So I went seeing a therapist for a little while, but that lasted 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Because I'm a firm believer. I don't think Mr. Derrickson can serve me. Like, who the hell are you? Like, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's where I was cut from. So I deaded that quickly. And not that I'm the big bad wolf. I dealt with it on my own, fortunately, because a lot of people are not able to. And sometimes you do need somebody to peel that off on. But I just never subscribed to the ideology of having some cat in Midtown, for example, to tell me what's going on with me. You was coaching soccer 2 months ago, and now you're doing this. Like,
You're
who are
right.
you?
You're
Huh?
right. You're right, man.
Yeah.
Did all of that lead up to homelessness? How did that come into effect with everything that was going on? How did that happen then?
Me running from myself again, man. I was running from me unbeknownst to me. As crazy as that sounds. Again, I'm fighting my own inner demons and not knowing how to navigate them. I put myself in those positions. I never embraced cats that embraced me. Um, because by the time I was 13, for all intenses, for the most part, I was pretty much on my own. Not that I was abandoned by my family or my moms or nothing like that. I was just, by the time I was 13, I was buying my own clothes, buying my own food, taking care of myself. Other than me paying rent at 13, I was taking care of myself. At whatever means necessary.
Yeah. Uh, you know, at that time, like, were there ever a time, um, I guess I can say this. Do you regret anything like going on tour or this and that? Is there anything that you regret in that business? You know, because somewhere I saw that you've been to so many cities, man, but you don't remember any of them.
I don't remember none. It became a, and that wasn't that's not I don't attribute that to me being high or
Yeah,
being
not that. Yeah,
it had nothing to do with that because
yeah,
when I was on the road, I wasn't getting high to the degree that cats believed I was. Got high periodically, but I wasn't a druggie on the road like and incompetent. Like I wasn't David Ruffin. I wasn't that it wasn't on that kind of page. Um, I I don't remember the majority of it because during that time, again, I wasn't in a good space. I just wasn't aware of it. I would cover it with performing. I would cover it with getting high. I would mask it with laughter, um, and not address it. And if you do that so repetitively, not just masking it, whatever it is that you're masking over, if I'm masking something to cover from something else,
yeah,
while I'm masking it, I could be sitting here talking to you, but if I'm faking this, I'm not really embodying it.
yeah. You're right.
So I was just going through it, enjoying it, but couple that with the fact that it becomes so redundant. Somebody, cats be like, "Yo, I was at a concert with you, and in 1996, and remember you had on the yellow." No, I'm like, bro, I don't remember none of that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
um, that coupled with
yeah,
the way I approach it, I didn't live I didn't salivate from it. It didn't get me off like that. I wasn't like a hip hop or performance person with, I got that. I'm gonna remember that the rest of my life. No, the person that I am on stage, fortunately for me, has always been natural. So I never planned to prep to do this. Do I synchronize a stage show? Yes. But as far as what's going to happen and what I'm going to do on stage, I don't remember that and go, no, that joint, remember that time we did in Denver? I have no idea what I did in Denver. I have no idea what I did in Philly. I have no idea. I know I did the show, I did the songs, and we did that, and we did the dance stuff. But
but
to
you,
remember the intricacies of those performances, now it becomes blurred because it's repetitive. You do it over and over and over again.
right. That's right. You're right. I can understand that.
Like at one hotel, they say, no, that was the hotel with the this, or that was the, I don't know. I had some cats tell me, like, for example, cats come to me and say, yo, it was great seeing you on the Arsenio Hall show. And I was like, no, I think it was Soul Train, one of the two.
Yeah,
Soul Train. Somebody was like, yo, man, how did it feel like being on the show? And I was like, it was cool.
yeah,
And they took offense of me not being
yeah. Like more enthused in it. More.
over the top because
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
it didn't it just, and again, not that I didn't appreciate those opportunities that I had and the stuff that I accomplished and did, but it just rolled off my back. It wasn't a big deal.
it wasn't a big deal. You know, they don't understand it. Like
Right.
this is you. It wasn't a big
It
deal.
was a great accomplishment, but once the accomplishment was done, I never carried it on my sleeve. Like, oh, I
Yeah,
did that, so I could tell the next person, no, I did this too. I did that too. I mean, I'm guilty of not knowing half the stuff I do. I got one of my guys that has just, we've talked on so many occasions. He knows more about me than I do because I don't remember it. Like I think the first hip hop radio commercial, and I didn't remember that till he and I were talking. It was a, uh,
That must have been, what year was that?
uh,
Wow,
80,
82?
82, 83, maybe even 84. Models, that's what it was. Models got you looking
Oh yeah,
good.
Models. Yeah.
Got you. That's me.
Oh wow, okay, that's you. All right, see, I never knew that.
But I forgot it was me. That's my point.
Wow, wow, I never knew that.
No,
Wow,
I just don't carry a lot of that stuff with me. I don't have a brag bag, is what I call it. You know, most people say, "No, I did this. I was the first to do this. I was the first to do that." And because I don't need to do it. Because who am I telling it to? Somebody, you know, if you either you know or you don't know. And if you don't know, you don't need to know.
you know. Right, man. What did you enjoy most about the music industry, being a part of an iconic group at that time? What did you really enjoy most?
Performing,
Okay,
doing a good performance, because I've always taken performing very, very seriously.
yeah,
Uh, and you know, if we get on stage and we handle our business and we get that feedback and that response from an audience, then my job is made. I mean, my job is done. If I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I mean, if I see cats coming out of that they enjoyed they enjoyed the concert, my job is done. And Mo and K will tell you that. Like, let one of them cats miss a step. They'll hear about it from LA. Real talk.
I hear, I hear that, man. Do y'all still hang out every now and then, like you and the crew? I know y'all still doing shows too, but do y'all every once in a while just come and hang out together, go eat, you know?
More so now when we're on the road, yeah. Like when the opportunity presents itself, because Mo's out in Mo's in Atlanta, um, and I'm up in the Bronx, so I work two gigs, man. So I love my crew, but I don't spend no time with y'all. Love y'all, man. So I see you when I see you,
See
but
you
when
when I
I
see you.
see
I was gonna say that. See you when I see you.
you when I see you, but it's no love loss at all.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I just don't get out frequently. Like when there's downtime, if it's downtime,
yeah.
I apply that to me to help me keep me sane. Like I don't want to see none of y'all. But if the opportunity presents itself and it's a necessity for us to do it, nah, we link up on a reg because I see them on a regular because we still perform on a regular anyway.
Y'all still be on stage, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see K as often because K doesn't perform with us because we perform under the Kool Moe Dee umbrella, not as much as the Treacherous Three umbrella.
Okay.
And K, unfortunately, was not part of the Kool Moe Dee umbrella.
All right.
Because for Kool Moe Dee, you know, I did the majority of his choreography. I did the dance steps to the majority of videos and that kind of stuff. And Kaz performs with us under the Kool Moe Dee umbrella, and Mike C, like I said,
Yeah.
he's so yeah. So Kate is not just in part of that circle.
Okay. Okay. What do you feel has been your greatest win so far in life?
Greatest win,
Yeah, so far in life.
my kids,
That's great. Yeah.
kids. I mean, because you know, hip hop, schmip hop, whatever, man. My ups, downs, trials, tribulations, man. You can't. The kids that I've, you know, was blessed to be able to nurture and foster and grow. Um, they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Um, and you're gonna say that about your kids anyway, but you know, I'm proud of the seeds that I laid, man. You know what I'm saying? If I kick the butt with them all, man, I'm good because my kids are in a good space.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm asking you, dude. How many kids you have?
Hmm. Four total, two biological.
Okay.
I mean, but I got a slew of nieces and nephews, you know, just by default. You know, and some of my grandkids is down here now. That those are my grandkids, but they're not my biological grandkids. But you can't tell them that. Can't tell me they ain't mine.
So you
You
go.
know, yeah.
Now when you looking out here, when you looking at this the industry, man, everybody have money. I mean, people running around with cars, houses. All you see on Instagram, Facebook, money, money, all these artists. How do you define success in life?
Wow. So you opening up a can of worms because I've never aspired to be the most flamboyant, the most flossy.
Yeah,
I've never
humble.
been
You're
that way.
humble.
And again, I've been called that more times than not.
Yeah,
Really humble to a fault, but I take it and I wear it with a badge of honor because those things are nothing but distractions for the most part. It's distractions because you yearn for that. It's like, let me try to put it this way. I remember that there being times where there would be a VIP section in the club, and
yeah,
they got the rope. You want to, I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
seeing cats urinating and ask me, "Yo, man, what they doing up there, or what they doing backstage? What they doing in the dressing rooms? Yo, let me give me a pass to get backstage." I'm like, there's nothing going on back there. There's nothing going on back there. But the perception of it
That's right.
is what carries that weight.
Right.
I bought into the, I won't say fake, the bloviated perception to it quicker than most people, because most people don't realize that all that it's all for naught anyway. The glitz, the glamour, the bling bling, and
For sure.
it's
It's,
all cool to have if you have it, but
yeah, but it's all for sure, you know.
people make that a prerequisite as a stamp of approval. No, I'm official because I got me a floss chain, or I'm official because I got the whip, I got the new. I've never been one to keep up with the Joneses. I just never been that. And so um it's definitely not that. Like I don't see, I never seen that as something to aspire to get and or accomplish. But I mean, that's a very, very interesting question and hard to answer because I never even contemplated it. Like it's just I've been humble to a fault.
Yeah,
And that's a perfect example of me being humble to a fault because I never even processed that thought. Like, what would that be like? What would I consider a great win? A great win for me is doing what I set out to do, whatever that is. It don't necessarily have to be. I don't want to. I don't need 10 million records sold and $100 million. I don't need none of that.
yeah.
I got them kids upstairs, and man, if them kids upstairs and they good and they laugh and they come and say pop and
That's,
they jump on my back and they play. I'm good. That's corny
that's
as that.
happiness. That's happiness right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's all.
But that's cool, man. And just like when I was coming up, there was a message in music. You know, rather it was hip hop or R&B. It was a message for me when I was coming up, or any other genre. And some artists back then were also role models. For me, it was Public Enemy, BDP, X Clan, and more. Do you think there are any artists out here today that can be a role model to this generation?
Man, that's a good question. I like you, man. You're on point. I like that. Um, this might rub some people the wrong way. The disadvantage I have in answering that question is I have I'm not familiarized with the goings on of this generation. So
Okay.
that's my disclaimer to begin with. Because in order for me to consider somebody a role model, I would be doing myself a disservice if I said somebody if I don't know them. I couldn't say, nah, T, you should be a role model. I'd be doing myself a disservice because do I know you and your inner workings? Nah. So last thing I would do, I'm not gonna send my grandkid to you and say, nah, do what that cat say do. I'm just using you as an example,
Yeah,
only because I don't know. So that's the disadvantage I have with the likes. Now, if you say specifically speaking of somebody I would be considered a role model based on their accomplishments, that's still a whole nother path because what is an accomplishment? Like that, there's so many things that can be viewed as an accomplishment. I'm accomplished right now, but shit, I got to get up and go to work 2 jobs every day. But do I want to do that? No. But to be able to have the wherewithal and the stick to itiveness to get up and be able to do that alone and help provide for my kids and my family, that's an accomplishment. So it depends on how people view it, and most people don't view it the way I view it. Nah, man, come on, you ain't saying nothing, man. You ain't relevant. You ain't got no hot joints out right now. You know what I'm saying? You ain't making no noise. That's what they view as being on a losing team. I'm just not cut from that cloth. So it'd be I'd do myself a disservice and answering that would be unfair to some people. It's asking who I would view as a role model.
well, okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair. You broke it down.
But and again, a lot of people think that's a cop out. Like, no, you just trying to, you don't want to rock no boat. No, I just don't want to tell falsehood or share nothing that I'm uncomfortable with, not uncomfortable with, that I'm knowledge that I don't have the proper knowledge to answer the question.
Yeah.
If I don't have enough, and again, I could look at you in your face and say, "Nah, I'm not comfortable answering that." Why? Because I don't have enough knowledge to answer it.
Okay, cool. That's cool, man. Just looking back on your life.
Mhm.
What are you most proud of about yourself?
I think I am corny because it's gonna sound corny too. Just the fact that I'm even here. That's what I'm most proud of.
That you
The
even
fact that I'm
have?
still alive.
Okay, still alive. Okay, okay.
Because
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
trials and
that's
tribulations,
deep. That's deep.
my trials and tribulations, man, I ain't supposed to be here. So I know it's a higher power. I don't know who that higher power is, but I know it's a higher power that's taking care of me, looking out for me. And I've gotten to the point now where I'm way comfortable with that. I don't need to go, I need to have this, I have that. No, my biggest accomplishment is the fact that I'm here. Because I still fight that sometimes. You know?
That's deep, though. I mean, and it's true.
Yeah.
Still, you know, you wake up every day.
Yeah,
You still
exactly.
another day.
Yeah. And sometimes, everybody, a lot of people don't want to admit it. Some people look up and say, man, I'm tired of this. I don't want to wake up today. I don't want to do that today. I don't want to do that. I mean, you don't want to be here. You just got to acknowledge that. I've gotten to a point where I can comfortably say, oh no, I'm having trouble not getting out of bed. I'm having trouble desiring to wake up.
Mhm.
So once I'm able to say that, I can at least put that here, put it right in my head and start dealing with it accordingly, as opposed to running away from it and suppressing it like I did all those years, and have it fester in my gut and in my system, and I'm carrying that weight with me all the time. Nah, I ain't doing that. I'll be doing myself a disservice. So the fact that I'm able to say that I'm here is an accomplishment, a super accomplishment. When I first got into hip hop, and I mean not hip hop, when I first got into the record industry, I was like, oh, okay, nah, this might take me somewhere and do, because yeah, I know I got talent and I know this is something that I'm aspiring to do. But to see the record business, or no, the entertainment business firsthand, as it being as conniving as it is, it woke me up to like, nah, this ain't something I want to do. I don't want to make records. If I make records, I'm gonna want to killing somebody. And that's just based on my prior upbringing. Like I said before, hip hop, I was cut from a different cloth. Like, you ain't gonna just punk me and think it's all right. Uh, um, example, sidebar. I remember being in Sugar Hill Records with Sylvia and her husband, and I
Yeah,
felt
well,
wasn't getting treated right. We wasn't, they was giving us the business, and again, I've always been a cat. But you would be, they find a way to view me as the troublesome one because I'm speaking up.
speak up. That's right.
And I
That's what they
told,
do. That's what they
yeah, that's
do.
right. That's my point. And I told her husband, made no qualms about it. I said, I'm gonna leave this office because I'm about to invite your wife to some place where you don't want me to invite her to. And he got up, and that's the clean version I'm giving you.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell your wife she could my, and that's it, both of y'all. He got up, and he was cut from a mob cloth, you
Okay.
know, and he started
Just
taking his platinum watch and getting up on like, man, this little more, what is little talk? And I realized, like, because if I had my joint on me, then I would have done something. I know it,
you would have done
unequivocally,
something.
1,000%. But that's not who I am.
Yeah.
So to prevent me from doing that, I'm like, no, y'all can have that business. And then the other things that I've run across during my comings and goings in the entertainment business, that's the shadiest business in the world, man. I wouldn't recommend that to be for nobody.
Wow. What you just said just now, those were my next questions just now about that. And you spoke on it because I was going to ask you, you know, you told me you were in B Street.
Mhm.
You did the music, all of this, and you did you was in a record label. I mean, you was with a label. When when did you actually see good money? Because I know in the beginning of your career, some people don't really make no money. But what year did you actually see some money from these residual checks or from these people? You know?
I've never received a royalty check. Did I get a few dollars? Yeah. Like when we were on Enjoy Records with Bobby Robinson, he gave us, I think the first, I guess you want to call it royalties, a little bit of bread he gave us was in a greasy brown paper bag,
Brown back.
and he gave us, and I think it was maybe $1,000 each, maybe 1,300 each, something like that. And that made me go, wow. First of all, you put me on the back burner, like, okay, nah, wait another month, wait another month, wait another month. We go on 6, 7, 8 months, and we finally get a little piece of paper, and this $300, I mean $3,000. Like, that's not what I was looking at. And again,
Yeah.
as a young cat, I ain't gonna lie and think. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't have visions of grandeur and be like, wow, when I get checked, I'm buying a car, I'm moving my mom's out this house, and because you thinking I'm hearing my record on the radio, and so I'm expecting to receive some residual. Nah, and that kind of tainted it, like, no, it kind of sullied my perception of it. And then just goings on periodically, I would run across that kind of stuff, but we never received an actual royalty check from Enjoy Records or Sugar Hill Records. They both said we owed them money.
After all the work.
And that's the business. That's just what the business is cut. That's not isolated to the Treacherous Three at all. I mean, how many unsung episodes you seen when it said it started out this and it
That's
started
right. That's right.
and they
Almost everybody. Almost everybody.
so when I tell people people think that I'm over exaggerating when I say the business is based on that. That's not part of the business. That's what the business is. And if somebody can prove me wrong, prove it to me wrong. I mean, there are people that are being paid and compensated now more so than they were back then, but they still getting jerked.
Wow. You know, if you can change anything about the music industry, what would it be?
For the artists to be able to own their own music.
Yeah.
Because
What?
when you put out music, you don't have, if you, for example, if an artist, God forbid, passes away, that in most circumstances, most artists don't own their own music. So their family is just, excuse me for the lack of a better terminology, but family just asked out. Because the record company keeps that. And the business, then that's just a small example of what the business is designed to be. It's not fair to artists at all. If I can remember correctly, don't quote me on this, I could be way off, but I think when we did the calculations of what it looked like in terms of dollars and cents, I think we were getting like 7 cents, if that, seven, not 7%, 7 cents.
7%.
7 cents, or maybe 3%, some real stupid number for it to be. But when you look at the big picture, these are my rhymes. I'm producing this song, unbeknownst to me, because I'm not a producer. I'm saying, no, play this, that, play that. All of the songs that we did, we produced. Because we told, did we play the instruments? No, we tell them, no, I want you to play, play that, and to put this on the big. That's me producing it. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that at the time, and I'm thinking, okay, no, I'm gonna view this as a fair collaboration. Everybody, put the pennies in the pot, and we get what come out of it. But I learned far too many times that's not the case. That the business is not based on that. I mean, well, that is what the business is, basically. It's grimy. My daughter's aspiring hip hop artist. She's very good too, and I try to give her heads up and and school her as much as I can and give her as much support. But do I want her to be a hip hop artist? No, not even if she owned everything. Just the business itself is just it's too shady.
Well, I just wanted to piggyback off something you said. You mentioned if an artist pass away, God forbid, the family is just they're done, right?
Right.
You know what I find sick? When you sign to a label, they actually put life insurance on you. on an artist.
Right. No, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
But my thing is, and you're right, and when that person dies, some people don't have the money. Like you said, you got to do parties, fish fries,
Mhm.
but they have the money to give you, but they won't give it to you.
They won't give it to you.
That,
It don't get no shadier than that.
that's a sick. That's like a sick
That's a sick
situation.
mentality, right?
Yeah,
And me being the person that I am, I found myself like, nah, I don't want to be on that. That's like being in living in squalor intentionally. Like, why would I invite myself to do that? I don't eat meat. I don't eat pork. So why would I just come around everybody that's having a pork fry and I'm gonna go sit up in there and enjoy a pork fry? No, that's not my cup of tea.
yeah,
I don't want that on me. I don't want that. Like, you're walking around, you got bird doodle on your. Who wants that on them? I don't want that on me. So I have to remove myself from it. And again, like I said, that is what the business is. It's not just part of business. And people would have the nerve to say, nah, man, it's just business. And they're comfortable saying that. Nah, man, that's business, man. Come on, man. You gotta stay on it, man. This is what the business is. And you comfortable with that? And I know I'm not. So if
yeah.
somebody approached me with that mentality, nah, I'll be over here, man. And sometimes it comes across as sour grapes or whatever. Trust me, I ain't mad at nobody.
Wow, man. Going through everything you went through, man. The dark times and with the labels and with this and that. What did you actually learn first? Education or experience?
Hmm. Experience was my education. I didn't go no further than eighth grade. God forbid. I'm so happy to be able to say that. Because I've learned later on that they ain't teaching you nothing there anyway. But I never gravitated towards school. I dropped out in eighth grade, got my GED in the 10th grade when I was supposed to be in the 10th grade, and never pursued any other um, um, scholastic ventures at all. And I wound up working in school. I think that's something I work.
Oh, running. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
now I work in a school. I work at two
yeah.
schools.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, but the experience has been my education. Seeing what I've seen, places I've been, things that I've done, and not just from hip hop, just in life
Right.
general.
Yeah.
Uh, I it's funny that you mentioned that because I get accused of trying to sound white, whatever that means. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't.
what is that? It's just proper
I,
English.
I don't know. Right. Yeah.
What?
Right. But I get ridiculed, and that's what they mean. But they don't know no other way to
Yeah,
articulate it other than
what is
excuse.
that?
But
Yeah.
yeah. But speaking proper English that we know to be proper English, what they taught us so far, what we've learned as proper English, and people would shun that, like look at that as something to not want to be or to not be. And I never was able to understand that. But again, me standing firm on my square, I could fake it. I could talk to you like this, what I'm saying? Word up, what I'm saying? But and what I'm saying, because I'd be like, this is what it is, what I'm saying? Word up. But I've never talked that way. I
Yeah.
don't talk that way.
Yeah, yeah, that's not you.
It just, and I don't run from it. It just never grabbed, like, it's hard for me to even keep up with slang. And I don't try to not so I want to speak this way. No, I consider myself to be an educator. No, that ain't that. I gotta ask people to this day, what do that mean? We can't use slang vernacular and whatnot. I get ridiculed for saying vernacular, like that kind of. That's just
Yeah.
how I've always spoken.
And real quick, LA, and you know who that comes from? It comes from your own people, man, that said that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly,
Why are we like that toward it? I just don't know, man.
because we've been bred to be insecure. We conditioned that way. We don't know it, and more so than not knowing it, we would run from admitting it. Most person out of our community, the most admittance that they would give of being wrong is, I don't know. And I know that from firsthand. I practice watching it. When you tell somebody and you put them not necessarily on blast, you check them, say,
You check them.
yo,
Yeah,
you see,
yeah,
this is what it is.
yeah.
And instead of most people going, brother, you right. I give you that. Instead of doing that, most people go, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I mean, you ain't ready. That means you ain't you shortchanging yourself when you do that. So and I don't knock people for who they are. I let people be who they are, but at the risk of sounding, abrasive,
Mhm.
I'll keep that over there, man. If you over there with it, over there. That's why when you asked me that to chop it up a little bit, my reservation didn't come from I think I'm all that or who is this guy? It's none of that. It's just like it's hard to have these kind of conversations without it being taken the wrong way or me being perceived that I think that I'm better than that's none of that the case, but I'm not getting on the milk crate and telling you that that's not the case.
Right, right, man. It's sad. It's a sad situation with us, man, and it only gets worse. I don't see nothing getting better.
Mm.
With the negativity and with down to your own brother, I don't see it. It
But you
just
got to remember that it's done intentional. It's a program. You know what I'm saying? It's been designed for us to go through this and deal with it like this and view it this way and react the way we act. It's been done intentionally, and most people are so distracted. The distraction makes them oblivious to it, what's right in their face. Like, because if you're not man enough to look at somebody else and say, no, you right. Tell me something else. Or say, at the very least, if you can't say, let me think about that. I almost don't want to talk to you
that's right.
because you shutting everything else out.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody, if it's 100 cats across the street and they all got on white t-shirts and you come out your block and you feel uncomfortable because you got a black shirt on, something wrong with you.
that's right.
Not what you, because you want to fit in that bad that you uncomfortable just because you odd man out, and we condition on you odd man out. You ain't riding, you ain't rolling with us. Why? Because you odd man out. For me, I'm okay. I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna lose no sleep if I'm the only one with a black t-shirt on and everybody's going, you got on a black t-shirt. If I want my black t-shirt on, I'm sleeping comfortably.
That's right. That's right. It's like in today's world, wrong is right and
Mhm.
right is wrong. It's backwards, man.
And but part of it is again, it's a condition that we've been taught to think that way because unfortunately, there's more wrong than there is right for the most part in terms of what we view and see and connect to. There's more wrong. And most people want to grow. Most people want to be a part of the majority, regardless to what the majority is.
Right.
If the majority is right, wrong, or indifferent, people still just want to be there. I'm just standing over here. Why? Because this is where everybody else is. You don't have enough. We don't have enough. I mean, we don't have enough men that can,
That
stand
too.
on these squares and say, no, I'm not doing that. I ain't doing that.
Right.
I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you call me or you isolate me or separate me or pigeonhole me or make me suffer or
Yeah.
how much finances I lose. I don't care. But most people ain't real enough to stand on that square. Most people will say it.
Well said. Again. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Mm. And what's the reason why I'm contemplating so long because I've definitely received some jewels.
Yeah.
But that swings right back to, and again, it might sound like a deflection. That swings back to you kind of circling into that question when you said, "What do I remember most about
Okay.
those experiences?"
Yeah.
I, I don't remember. But the jewels that I have received, I got and I carry them well. But can I pull up a Rolodex and go, nah, this right here says this and this, that, and the third, because I don't apply one specific jewel to a specific ideology. If it's a jewel, it applies with everything. You know what I'm saying? If I know if I know it serves me better being in a certain place as opposed to another place, I'm just gonna be there. I don't need to know why. I don't need you ain't got to break it down to me. It's not rocket science. If I know that being in that setting, in that circle doesn't serve me well or my growth well, I
Mhm.
can automatically detach it. but I don't remember what made me detach it. I don't remember. Oh no, no. So it's hard for me to answer that. I'm saying all that to say that, and it sounds like a get out of jail free card, but no.
No, that's fair.
Let me think though, because there's some. I used to toy with quotes and phrases. Um, I used to do them. I used to do them very frequently. And his perfect example, I couldn't express or uh, verbatimly express them, but I got zillions of them on my Instagram page. If you go back to my Instagram page, go years back, it's nothing but quotes.
Folks,
I
yeah. Mhm.
I say that to and one of the Jews that I thought of myself, like you could walk. It's easy to walk hand in. It's harder to walk hand in hand than it is seeing eye to eye, right? Because most men we could disagree, but
Mhm.
we still but let's disagree, but still stay on the same team. If we disagreeing to the point where now I got to detach, why? Because
Yeah.
he ain't on my page, and
Right.
I ain't rocking with him. All that does is feather the fabric of our foundation. Because if we're not like this, we're like this, and then this goes to this
It's
goes to
over.
this, goes
Yeah.
to this. We're not standing on nothing.
No, it's over, man.
So,
Basically.
so again, those are the kind of Jews that I always think of, and I don't speak too much to people in general. But then, like I said, you use those references to go back to my
To the page.
Instagram page and check some of that stuff out. Those are the Jews that I kind of like live by for the most part.
Okay, man. We almost out of here, man. I just want to know about this, about today. Like what I know that you are you work at an after school program, right, with kids today?
Yeah, yeah. I've worked with kids in varying capacities for going on 30 something years now. Um, I coached high school basketball. I coached some NBA players. I coached at Rice High School, which is a prominent high school in New York City,
Okay.
uh, and right in the middle of Harlem. Black and Spanish kids. We won 6 state championships. I did that for like, I think 17, 18, maybe. I think it might have been 19 years till the school closed down. Um, I've always been a parks and recreation kind of cat where I worked at state parks, city parks with kids. I worked right on 129th Street in Common Avenue, right on my block
Good luck. Okay.
inside the park as the park man. I've,
Okay.
you know, not the cleaning park man, I'm more doing recreation. We
Yeah.
giving kids jump ropes and lanyard and chalk and playing checkers so I've worked with kids in varying capacities. I've been a school dean. Right now I'm a school aide in the school, and I'm part of an administration team for the after school program for 2 different schools.
Wow. So I know that you definitely you enjoy what you're doing, right, with the kids, working with them.
Yeah, yeah. As much of a nerve as much they get on my nerves, I love it. I look forward to it. I
Yeah.
mean, part of my ideology, part of my ideology is something I say all the time is I know they're gonna get on my nerves, but if I know that they're gonna get on my nerves, I'm at an advantage because I know they're gonna get on my nerves.
You already know. You
I know
expect
they're gonna get.
at that
Yeah,
time.
so if I get there and
And they get
little
on your nerves.
and Bobby kick Michelle, or he
Yeah.
pull her hair, like, oh, man. Not that it's okay, but it doesn't take me aback
You
because
prepared. You prepared yourself for it.
so yes, I enjoy it fully. I mean, I find that with the kids, I find that with any kid, if you give any kid, I say a minute, 2 minutes. If you just focus on any kid for 2 minutes, they'll do something to make you smile. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, but they'll do something to make me smile. And that's been, I've worn that on my back for years. And until that runs out, if we get to a point where if I can look at a kid for a whole minute straight and he don't do something to make me laugh, I mean, it's time for me to give it up.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
wonderful, man. It's wonderful feeling. This last question, man.
Yes.
If you had to pick one song to describe your musical journey, what would it be and why?
Hmm. Wow. Because it's one that I think of offhand, and it's not hip hop. It got nothing to do with hip hop.
Okay.
It's it might put me in a box, but it kind of boxes me up, puts it in, put it in the right perspective. This was a song by Stevie Wonder called Saturn on
Yeah,
album
yeah,
Songs of the Key of Life.
that's right.
And he says, I'm going back to Saturn where my people fly. Like he's like, that's how much I've never wanted to be here. And I associate myself with that song more than anything else. That's one of my songs. That's one of my go-to.
Wow, hey, listen, man. This was wonderful. I know, it's so many questions, but I know we can go on. We need to make a part two if possible.
Ready, man. Whenever you're ready. I owe you that much, bro. I owe you that much because I want to keep my end of the bargain. I had some stumbling blocks and us trying to link together, man.
Yeah, that's
But
fine, man.
I work. I'll tell you, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
That's fine because you did it. You here and you kept your word, man. I thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
You got
You,
it, big.
we have the legend, pioneer. I'm going to roll it up in one. Legend, icon, pioneer. He might not feel it, but I do.
I
He
appreciate it.
gave us Feel the Heartbeat, the new rap language, the body rock at the party, turn it up, Santa's rap, and whip it.
Mm.
I want to thank you, LA Sunshine, for coming on to A Vision Media Broadcast, A Vision Entertainment. I thank you for that, brother. I do.
You got it, man. If you need to hit me back up, man, if you need to get some clarity on some stuff, man, I appreciate your vision and I see where you're going with, the direction that you're going with your platform. And for the most part, it's super inundated and swamped with just satire and people, doing it. But if you're doing it and you want to up and up and you're taking it seriously, if you feel a need to hit me up, don't hesitate, man. You got me in your pocket.
Definitely, I got you locked in.
What's up, y'all? My name is LA Sunshine of the Treacherous Three. You already know what it is. You watching A Vision Entertainment. We out. Peace.